Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos al stream. Ay, ¿será que muevo el chat a la...? Bueno, vamos a dejarlo ahí por ahora. Cualquier cosa lo muevo a otra esquina después. Hola, hola. ¿Cómo andan? ¡Guau! No sé cómo está el volumen porque ahorita solo escucho como susurros y guachafita oficinista de fondo. Lo sabremos más adelante. Cualquier cosa me avisan si está muy alto o muy bajito, ¿ok? Gracias por el super cool, Shinigami. ¡Mua! A ver, esperen. Listo, ya está. Te extrañé. Yo también, yo también. Ayer estuve chambeando muy duro. De verdad, demasiado. Y hoy también he estado chambeando. De hecho, terminé de chambear como hace unos 20 minutos y me acosté un rato en mi camita para descansar los ojos un poquito y poder disfrutar el juego bien. Pero it's okay. Todo va marchando bastante bien, yo creo. ¿Cómo están ustedes? ¿Cómo va todo? Yo no sé. Dije que iba a hacer 3 streams esta semana, pero técnicamente este es el tercer stream de la semana. Puede ser que haya otro, pero puede ser que no. Ya les aviso. No esperen algo más esta semana por si acaso. Pero sí. Ya. Feliz de verte. Yo también. Mucho. Y estoy emocionada de jugar este juego porque he escuchado que está curiosito. Como... no sé muy bien en realidad. Desconozco mucho del juego. Nada más sé que va de Stanley y su parábola. Y que es ultra deluxe. Y bueno, veo un PC y un teléfono y escucho oficinistas de fondo, así que supongo que va de la vida en la oficina. O vengo de chambear a seguir chambeando. Pero bueno, no me spoileen, ya saben, no me spoileen si ustedes ya jugaron esto, si ya vieron a alguien jugarlo. Ya no spoilers, la primera vez. Bienvenido de vuelta a los Illuminatis 12. Hola, Rosita. Ya a solo un mes para cumplir el año en la membresía. ¡Let's go! Emoción. A ver. Bueno, ya saben, cualquier cosa me dicen del volumen, ¿ok? ¿Seguiste cocinando? No, por ahora no. Por ahora estoy trabajando en otra cosa. Ya. Ok, no sé cómo son los controles. Lo averiguaremos. Nada más hice como lo de siempre. ¿Qué me...? The end is never... What?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Hola, Stanley. ¿Cómo está el volumen?
Stanley worked for a company in a
¿Muy
big
alto?
building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple.
Okay.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them.
¡Qué aburrido! Oh,
This is
Mago.
what employee 427 did every day of every month
Beep,
of
boop,
every
beep, boop.
year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Ok, somos felices.
And then one day, something
Eso es
very
bueno.
peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one
Oh, no puede ser.
arrived on the
Vamos a
monitor for him to
despertar la
follow. No one
conciencia.
had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest
¿Me
time.
estás diciendo que
But
debo
as he came
decidir
to his
por
wits
mí
and
misma?
regained his senses, he got up
¿Que
from
debo
his
tomar
desk
mis
and
propias
stepped out of his
decisiones
office.
sobre mi vida? Oh, ok, ya está. Oh, me muevo un poco rápido, ¿no? Se supone que estoy caminando, pero se siente como que estoy corriendo. Ok, wait, ¿podré moverle a la... Supongo que es esto lo del mouse. Está muy rápido. No sé si lo bajé mucho ahora. No, no siento mucha diferencia. He escuchado muy buenas cosas de este juego. Oh, really? Yo he escuchado que está curioso y por eso tengo curiosidad. Ah. Así se siente no tener BGM lavacerebros. Ah. No, quiero moverle a lo de la cámara porque sentía que iba muy rápido. Bueno, le dejaré así. ¿Quién sabe? Oh, sí, ya está diferente. Es que me mareo después. Ok, nuestra oficina es la oficina 427. Eso significa que... Oh my god, no. Pensé que era la última. ¿Cuántas oficinas hay aquí? Oh my god. Ok. Vamos a explorar nuestra oficina primero. Ya. ¿Podré interactuar con mouse? No lo sé. ¿Puedo agacharme? Sí. ¿Puedo correr aún más rápido de lo que camino? Nah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Señor
it
narrador,
mean?
me asusta.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ok, tenemos que ir al meeting room. Ok. Pero vamos a explorar un poco. I hate Mondays. Yeah. Me too.
No matter how hard
Everyone
Stanley
does.
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? ¿Quién tendría una taza que dice eso? Oigan, ese teléfono... Ya sé que hay creencia popular de que yo soy verde hater, pero en realidad eso no es cierto. Hay unos tonos de verde que sí me gustan. Ese verde está curiosito. Está ok. ¿Qué es esto? Ah, es un sacapuntas. ¡Ay! ¿Saben? Mi tío tenía un sacapuntas de esto y creo que me dejó como 2 veces sacarle punta a un lápiz con esa cosa. Y yo me sentía el ser más profesional de este planeta. De verdad. Había olvidado que existían. A ver, fotocopias, podré leer. No sé si... ¿Cómo puedo agarrar cosas? ¿Puedo agarrar?
Stanley went around touching every little
I
thing
guess
in
I
the
can.
office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
¡Ay, cállate, narrador! Soy una chica curiosa. Soy una chica curiosa. No me digas qué hacer. Ok, vámonos. Jesus Christ. No puedo mirar al exterior. ¿Dónde estamos? Ok, ¿y dónde es el meeting room? ¿Cómo sabré cuál es el meeting room? Pero yo quiero seguir explorando, señor narrador. Ok, todo el mundo tiene las mismas tazas. Las mismas tazas. ¿Qué dice esa? Have no idea. Ok, ¿será este el meeting room? No, ¿sí? No. Oh my
When
god.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ok. Ok. Por un momento tuve la tentación de hacer lo contrario, pero no. Voy a hacerle caso al narrador, que podría mal irse a él. ¡Ay, muchas gracias por el raid, bonita! ¡Ay, miren! Esta es la sala de reuniones. Bienvenidos, craftitos.
Yet there
Bienvenidos.
was not a single person
Justo
here
acabamos de
either.
empezar.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ahora tenemos que ir a la oficina del jefe. Pero... Ok, acá hay muchas cosas que ver. A ver. Te amo, Eru, yo también. ¡Mua! No te pierdas. Espero que la hayan pasado muy bien. A ver. Meeting room. Carita feliz. Ah, cute. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Tenemos un manager de tableros. Wow. Wow. Ok. No parece haber nada interesante aquí. Para mañana tenemos que completar Dios, no sé hablar. Las tareas que no terminamos. Ya. Escribir los siguientes días en la agenda. Reflect. Ok. No es eficiente. A ver. My God. ¿Sacar a Chris del closet de escobas? ¿Quién es Chris? ¿Quién es ese? My God. Despedir al chico de los papeles. Contratar a alguien para que despida al chico de los papeles. ¿Quién movió mi escritorio? Oh. Ok, acá hay algo borrado. ¿Qué clase de juego es este? De hecho, ni siquiera sé. Les decía que al inicio me salía como el típico cosito, ¿no? De mueve la barra hasta que el objeto de la izquierda sea poco visible. Eso me da miedo, me hace sentir que algo me va a jumpscarear. Es un juego. Everyone is unique. Sobre todo yo. Oh my God, qué cosas felices. Oh my God, no va a seguir. Ok, interesante gráfica. A ver. Oh. Gráficas. No nos importan las gráficas. Ok, supongo que vamos a seguir caminando a la oficina. Oh, no more charts. Mira, no soy la única que lo pensaba. Damn it. No debí irme. Ok. Vámonos. Vamos a buscar. Muchas gráficas aquí. Me hace detener. Oh, ¿será que Chris está aquí? ¿En el closet de la escoba? ¿Chris? No está.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around
Estoy
and
muy
got
orgullosa
back on
de él.
track.
Ay, espérense. ¿Y si agarro cosas? Me estresa no poder agarrar nada.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
All right.
No reason to still be here. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ok, vámonos. ¡Ah! Eru, quédate ahí un rato, no salgas. Ups, ya que. Ya que. Oh. Wow, este lugar es mucho más fancy que el resto. Bueno, tiene sentido, ¿no? Es como la parte de los jefes. Me da un poco de miedo que sea tan rojo. No me gusta el narrador, ¿por qué? A ver qué dice aquí. Beige. ¿Cuál era? ¿Acá? ¡Ah! Me da miedo. Wait, ¿de dónde entré? ¿Puedo entrar aquí? ¡Ay! ¡Es el baño! Money's for stealing. Okay. No entiendo qué está pasando aquí. ¿Vamos a robar? ¿Somos malvados? ¡Baños extremos! Bueno, este baño... ¿Por quién pone cuadros en un baño? ¿Ustedes pondrían un cuadro en un baño? ¿2 cuadros en un baño? Tipo, uno chiquito está bien, supongo. Yo no pondría un cuadro en el baño, la verdad. Ni siquiera uno chiquito. Vámonos de aquí. A ver.
Stepping into
Esto
his
es
manager's
muy alto, me da
office,
miedo.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human
Estamos
life.
solos.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
Gracias,
But of
narrador.
course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. ¿No puedo tocar el piano? Ok. A ver, ¿dónde está la llave? Acá hay unos vasitos. ¿Qué estarían tomando, Milo?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
No, no
Trying
me
to
sentaba.
input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know
Shut
that
up,
the
I
combination
know.
was 2845.
¿Dónde está la llave? Oh, gosh. ¿No había una llave?
To, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
¡Qué inteligente
Stanley
soy!
happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Oh, sí, pura suerte.
He stepped into
Por
the
algo me
newly
contrataron.
opened passageway.
Oh my god. What's going on? Soy muy inteligente. Miren. Un cuadro de una montaña, un cuadro de una corbata. Dominación mundial. I am the most expensive boss. Alright. Sure. ¿Esto es como The Truman Show? Dominación. Aceitación. Promoción. Oh no, la música cambió. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Hay algo acá? ¡Ay, está muy oscuro! Me arrepiento, debí poner el cosito más brillante. Link Plus. Oh, hay un ascensor. Oh no. Narrador, dime qué hacer, tengo miedo. Bueno, el botón de abajo brilla. ¡Ay! Te va a salir el chamuco, no me digas eso. Ah.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ok, vamos a descubrirlo. Estoy segura que este juego no es de terror, perdón. Me asusto con todo.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind Control Facility. Oh, si la luz está encendida, llama 914 inmediatamente. La luz está encendida, pero no tengo teléfono. Escape. Bueno, sí, no es por seguir las órdenes del narrador, pero siendo honestos, ¿qué se ve más interesante? ¿Una puerta normal de escape? ¿Una puerta que dice Mind Control Facility? Yo no sé. Pero lo decidí yo, no el narrador, ¿me oíste? No el narrador, lo decidí yo. Ok, acá hay más... ¿Solo hay un botón? ¿Qué pasa si me tiro? No puedo. Ok, ¡botón!
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Yeah, of course.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Oh.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Sí, claro. Quiero saber. He estado toda mi vida presionando botones. Estoy muy... ¿Cámaras? I hate Mondays. Es lo mismo, una y otra vez. Oh, ¿qué dice aquí? Me gustaría poder acercarme a las cosas. Se ve como que son números, ¿no? Ya. Ok, vamos a presionar el botón. ¡Uah!
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Oh.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally.
Hay uno que estaba como con error. Fired. ¿A quién despidieron? ¿Cuál es el mío? ¿Cuál era mi número? ¡Ah! Rayos. Era 247, ¿no? Autorizó a Eru para que controle mi mente. Y ya dijiste. Lo siento. Aquí estoy, ya lo vi. Ya lo vi. Ah, era 427. No puede ser. Bueno, casi. 427. Ahí estoy, ya lo vi. ¡Ey! Wait, se abrió esto, ¿no? Oh, ¿de dónde vengo? Ah, ya me perdí. Un hombre.
This mind control facility.
Ese yo, ¿a dónde nos va a llevar?
Couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Vivimos en una simulación, nada es real.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't
Me
accept
rehuso,
it.
me
His
niego.
own life in someone else's
Mi propia vida
control.
controlada por
Never.
otro, no.
It was unthinkable.
No.
Wasn't it?
Claro.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Me da risa el narrador. ¿Dónde estamos ahora?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking,
Offline.
eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Estos
And as the
botones
cold
son de las
reality of his
emociones.
past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he
No
would
puedo
dismantle
presionar.
the controls once and for all.
Ok. Ya no nos van a controlar, supongo. 5. No hay no sé, ¿5 qué? 5 pesos. ¿Hice algo? ¿Sonó algo? Wait. 3. ¿A dónde voy? ¿Qué debo hacer? Debo ir al 1, no le presta atención. ¿Hice algo? ¿Cambió algo? Creo que no. A ver, ¿dónde está el 1? Tengo que ir 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ok. A ver, 3. ¿Dónde está el 1? ¿Será ese de allá arriba? Ah, aquí está. 1. 2. 3. Aprendiendo a contar con Eru. Oh no. Ya no sé qué viene después. 3. ¿Ah? Ok. 4. ¿Será ese de allá arriba? Está muy oscuro. No veo absolutamente nada. ¿Esto es una puerta? No, no puedo pasar. ¡Come on! ¿Dónde está el 4? 1, 2. Ese 5, ¿dónde está 4? Coño. Debe ser ese de allá arriba. Stanley. Vamos, ¿será que puedo subirle el brillo un poquito? ¿Video tal vez? ¿No? ¿General? ¿Dónde está el brillo? ¡No la encuentro! Oh no, estaremos atrapados en la oscuridad para siempre. Bueno. Ni modo. Ya, no puedo saltar tampoco. Señor narrador, ¿me dice dónde está el 4, por favor? Ya que le encanta decirnos la respuesta. ¿Dónde? Me estresa no poder saltar en los juegos. ¿Cómo llego arriba? Debe haber un ascensor. ¿O un algo? A ver. ¡No! Esta puerta mágica no es una puerta. Quizás son 2 puertas en la entrada de las escaleras. I don't think so. El narrador habla mucho, pero cuando lo necesito ya no. ¡Auxilio! A ver, debe haber otra manera de subir. Seguramente. ¿Y si nos escapamos? No. Tal vez tengo que hacer funcionar... No, no lo creo. Ñam, ñam, ñam. ¿Y si le doy al 5 y ya? ¿La arruiné? Oh. Solo suenan distintos. No, no creo que pase nada. ¿Eh?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Igual y yo no sé si quiero pensar, ¿eh? Stanley, ¿realmente quieres pensar? Creo que no sabes a lo que te vas a enfrentar, ¿eh? Wait, si no quiero a ver, si no quiero pensar es on, ¿no? Y si quiero pensar es off, ¿no? Porque no queremos mind control. En teoría. Bueno, eso dice Stanley. Yo no sé. Ok, vamos a apagarlo, pues. No más control mental. ¡Ah! Y se va la luz. Y se acaba el stream. Did I fuck it up?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Se acabó.
He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled
¿Y ahora
himself
qué?
from someone else's
Te quedaste sin trabajo,
Freedom
tonto.
was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly
Gané,
opened,
se acabó.
Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's
El mundo
grasp?
real.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Vamos a
But
tocar
as
pasto,
sunlight
chicos.
streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Ok.
No
Muy
longer
profundo.
would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
¿No crees que le duró muy poco la crisis de identidad a Stanley?
Stanley stepped
Como que
through the
solucionó
open door.
todo muy rápido. Oh, Stanley cruzó la salida. Le duró muy poco.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
¿En serio se acabó? Unless... ¿Eh? It's over! What the... Is it like a loop? Soy Stanley, otra vez. 427 otra vez. Narrador, ¿estás ahí? Gracias. No. Ok, vamos a hacer lo contrario a lo que diga. ¿Qué
Stanley
tal?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. Vamos a hacer lo contrario esta vez. Ñaca, ñaca, ñaca. Ñaca, ñaca. Voy a intentar abrir todas las puertas. Creo que no se puede, pero... You never know. You never know.
Stanley went around touching every little
Shut
thing
up!
in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
You're kind of annoying, dude. Recero moment.
When Stanley came to a set
Oh,
of two
ok, ¿nos
open
vamos a la
doors,
otra?
he entered the door on his left.
Bueno, a la derecha.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Shut up.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
A bird.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed
¿Quieren
room.
algo de tomar?
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
¿Quieren algo? No tengo dinero, chicos, lo siento. No tengo.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
¡Silencio! Quiero
A room
relajarme.
so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously
cafecito.
vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
¿Cómo que worth it? Está... Oh. No puedo agarrar las cosas de verdad.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
¿Por qué me está juzgando? No estoy obsesionada con la habitación, nada más. No me he tardado nada, eres muy
Stanley sat around
impaciente.
waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Eres un poco mean.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
What if I don't? Hay algo más aquí. Oh,
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
así soy. Incontrolable. La diapositiva me dijo que yo era único. Así que estoy haciendo lo que la diapositiva dice. Oh, todo el mundo deja su café en todos lados. Doing a jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion will cause death. ¿Qué? Nos van a multar si saltamos de aquí.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is
¿Qué tal
that
si
the story
salto?
has been about nothing but you all this time. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
¿Eso fue sarcasmo? ¿O lo crees de verdad? Oigan, pero es que es cierto, antes
All of
supuestamente
his co-workers were gone. What
supuestamente
could it
nos
mean?
libramos de
Stanley
nuestra
decided to go to the meeting room.
de nuestro
Perhaps he
control
simply
mental,
missed a
pero
manner.
hacíamos lo que el narrador decía, así que ok, no voy a ir hacia allá. I guess. Veo que hay mucho que hacer en realidad.
When
Ok, pero vamos a
Stanley
seguir
came to
por la
set of two
derecha.
open This was not the correct way to the meeting
Shut
room,
up.
and Stanley knew it perfectly
Ya no
well.
me importan
Perhaps
tus
he wanted to stop
diálogos.
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes.
No tengo
this
tiempo de
room.
admirar.
What? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took
Hay
the
muchos
first
diálogos,
open door
cambia
on
un
his
montón.
left.
What if I do? No, I won't. No, not yet. Quiero
Stanley
explorar
was so
más
bad
aquí.
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
¿Y si voy al otro lado y ya está?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your
¿Qué clase de
enemy,
trabajo
really,
es
I'm not.
este?
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Ajá.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
¿Quién?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Pero es mi
I'm
vida.
not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your
¿Quién
life.
es ella?
She's been waiting.
Me está mintiendo, no le creo. Yo no tengo esposa. Me está mintiendo, no hay ninguna ella. ¿Cómo hago? Me da miedo que se cierren las puertas. No hay nada por aquí. vamos a entrar a la puerta aterradora e increíblemente oscura. Claro que sí, ¿qué podría salir mal?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another.
¿Por qué suena tan preocupado? Me da miedo. ¿No puedo contestar? ¿Moshi moshi? Eru desu. ¿Eh?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Si tengo esposa. No, he's lying to me. This is not real. This is an illusion.
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Maybe.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
¿Quién
This
es
is a
este?
very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
¿Eh? ¿La muerte? ¿Me morí?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes
Pues
is
sí,
a
me maté hace un
reminder of
rato.
the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Y si oprimo otra tecla, ¿qué pasa? Voy a oprimir A. No, F. J. Bueno, B.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button.
Just call me a good
Now
girl.
he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry
ven
for
aquí a
him,
que me
except that he's
rosten.
chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands.
No puedo salir, no
It
puedo
was
moverme.
wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a
Estoy
reminder
atrapada
that
con
none
este
of it
hombre.
would ever happen to him.
No puedo salir. Televisión. Ah, bueno. ¿Por qué
And so
no?
he began to fantasize about his own job.
No veo
First, he
televisión, me
imagined that
mintió.
one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Ya eso
The
lo sé.
thought excited him terribly.
Los
So
chicos.
he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice.
¿Por qué me está diciendo
It
todo lo que
barely
acabo de
even
hacer?
mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Eso no sé de qué me está hablando. Una historia a mis hijos.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
¿Qué está pasando? Creo que me metí a un lado que no debía, ¿ah?
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Z para mimir, por favor.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Lo voy a presionar.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Para no cuestionarte nada. ¿Qué dicen? ¿Lo presionamos? Nah. Nah. Ok. No puedo salir, though. Narrador. No lo presiono. Dime otra cosa. Miau, miau, miau. Miau, 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 miau. Ay, yo tengo mi propio sacapuntas cool. No me había dado cuenta. Aunque esos lápices son muy pequeños para ese sacapuntas, ¿no lo creen? Narrador, ¿estás ahí? ¿Me estás obligando a presionar Y? ¿Quién te entiende? Me criticas porque tomo mis propias decisiones, pero luego me criticas porque no te escucho. ¿Qué quieres de mí? Y no me dejas salir aparte. Alright. I guess voy a contar hasta 10. Y si no pasa nada, voy a presionar Y, supongo. Pero no porque tú me lo dijiste. ¿Ok? Me voy a quedar quieta, de hecho. Totalmente quieta. Tal vez eso ayude. El narrador es tsundere, no lo creo. A ver, es un tonto. No seas esclavo del sistema, Eru, no lo presiones. ¡Ah! Bienvenido de vuelta a los Illuminatis, Martín. A ver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ok, no me cuestiono nada, pues. Elijo no tener cerebro. No hay vuelta atrás, chicos. No pueden detenerme. ¡Ya!
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I...
¿Ah? ¿Ah? ¿El narrador eres bueno o eres malo?
All of his co-workers were gone.
¿Eres
What
bueno?
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Vámonos a
he
la de la
entered the door
izquierda,
on his
pero
left.
hagamos otras cosas, a ver qué onda. Mira, estoy haciendo lo que quieres.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
¿Y si me encierro yo?
No, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Déjame ser narrador. Me siento segura aquí. Me siento comfy. Es un closet agradable. Ya. Hay un constante sonido de bzzz todo el tiempo. Puedo sentarme. Hay una escoba. Puedo limpiar. No la puedo agarrar. Triste. Creo que ya está harto de mí. Creo que lo cansé. Abre y cierra la puerta. Ok. No pasó nada. No salgas. ¿Por cuánto tiempo? Ruido blanco, perfecto para una siestita. Claro que sí. ¿Eres como los gatos, Eruchita bonita, que le gustan los espacios cerrados? Depende, o sea... depende, porque si soy claustrofóbica, o sea, esto estaría bien si yo por mí misma me meto, ¿sabes? Pero si me quedo encerrada, no estaría nada bien. Sería horrible. No demora tanto o que me va a quedar totalmente quieta. Mientras tenga el control de la situación, it's fine. Pero no creo que a nadie le guste quedarse encerrado en un closet. Bueno, quién sabe. Quédate un ratito a ver qué dice el narrador. Ok. Me quedo aquí un ratito. A ver si me extraña. Tal vez me extrañe. Ya. Pues resulta confisar Mario. Nos quedamos ahí. Oh my God. ¿Qué cosas me dices? Si me dan mi iPad de internet, ahí me quedo todo el día. Wow. Quedarse encerrado en una elevador ha de ser horrible. Sí. De hecho, me acuerdo una vez que iba a tomar un elevador. Y justo cuando estaba a punto de llegar, tipo lo llamé, cuando estaba a punto de llegar, se trabó. Y se quedaron encerradas varias personas adentro. No se tardaron demasiado, pero pues sí fueron algunos 15 minutos. Y estaban a oscuras y luego cuando por fin les lograron abrirles, estaban llorando varios de ahí, güey. Yo como vago, pude ser yo. El diálogo no tardaba tanto. O sea, que hice algo mal. Charla libre en el closet, sí. Esa era la verdadera temática del stream. Charla libre en el closet. Sal y entra. Ok. Salgo y entro. A ver. A ver si se harta de mí totalmente. Me parece que realmente se hartó de mí. No creo que me diga nada. Creo que ya lo cansé. Creo que perdió la fe en Stanley. Alrighty. Seguiré mi camino. Señor narrador. No tiene nombre.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No me había dado cuenta que se podía bajar. Me siento como una niña chiquita haciendo lo contrario a lo que le dicen los papás. No, es una luz. No puedo leer. Hay como un dibujo de un cactus y un gato en una moto. Y un sol. Y un ovni. No lo sé.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Bueno, pero no hay nadie. Da igual lo que haga, narrador. Cálmate un poquito.
Maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
¿Podrá abrir algo de esto?
Pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange.
Creo que me estoy empezando a volver un poco loca.
He came to the conclusion that it had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt.
Este juego está demasiado consciente de sí mismo.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself
Sí,
flying
¿verdad?
and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh my god.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical
Estaba
starfield,
flotando.
and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the
Me gustan las
strangest question
estrellas.
of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by
No sé,
Stanley.
yo a veces
He found
narro
it
lo que hago
particularly strange.
en mi cabeza.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
¡Cállate,
And while
Stanley!
he
¡Oh,
thought
buen
it all very
narrador!
odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
Ok, tenemos que morir.
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the
¿Lo
voice not
es?
see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would
Necesito
prove
salir
that
de
he
aquí.
was in control, that this
Creo
was
que
a
el
dream.
narrador ya perdió la cabeza
So he
también.
closed his eyes gently,
Ah,
and he
ah.
invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
¿Realmente era un sueño?
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
A
I'm
despertar.
through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please.
De
It's
repente
all I want.
tu trabajo aburrido no
I
era
want
tan
my
malo. Ah.
apartment and my wife.
Sí,
and
tengo
my job.
esposa.
All I want
Ya no
is
creo
my
en
life
nadie.
exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
No. No es un sueño.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh no. Bueno.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Who the fuck is Mariela?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how
Entonces todo
lucky she was to
era
be
parte de
normal.
mi cabeza.
I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Bienvenido a los
Then she
corderos,
remembered
Don
the meeting
Ortiz.
she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
¿Y me ignoró? Mariela, qué maldita. ¡Ya sáquenme de aquí! Esto se siente como una pesadilla.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing?
¿Ah? Ya no es lo mismo que el inicio. Ah, ¿por la ventana? No creo que se pueda abrir la ventana.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
Gané un
co-workers.
logro. No puede saltar. No, en serio. Desactivamos la opción. Oh, shit. Alright. ¿Qué hacemos ahora? Ok, vamos a irnos por la izquierda y vamos a subir.
When Stanley
Pero
came
haremos
to a
otra
set of
cosa.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Vamos a intentar hacer... Voy a entrar al closet otra vez. Claro que sí.
Yet there was not a single person there either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
you.
up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Narrator! Yes. Eres un desgraciado. No puedes
Coming to a
forzarme.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Lo odio. Me baneó del closet. Estoy castigada. Estoy cliqueando todo violentamente. Ok. Bueno, pues sigamos adelante. Wait, ¿qué es esto? ¡Oh my god! ¿Qué es eso? Business strategy. What does that mean? What do you mean? Why? No, ¿qué hizo el panda? Oigan, esta puerta no estaba antes. Bienvenido de vuelta a los corderos, Cat. Qué gran juego, me recuerda. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? Bienvenido. Cometió crímenes, yo no lo creo. Ok, arriba. Ok, muchas cosas que hacer. Vamos abajo. Oh, estos papeles brillan. Abajo. Adiós. Música de ascensor. Un momento de descanso en medio de esta pesadilla horrenda. ¿El narrador está cantando? Cállate. Déjame disfrutar. No. Este es mi momento de descanso, no el tuyo. ¿Y cuánto más vamos a bajar? Este es el verdadero terror, sí que lo es. Oh my god, okay. Am I trapped in here? ¿Es el mismo lugar? Ok, ¿y si vamos arriba? ¿Será lo mismo? Me pregunto. Creo que este elevador es falso. Él está vibing. Solo tiembla así. Ya, creo que esto es falso. Alright, gracias por nada. Ascensor. Falso. Time. Graphs. Help! I can't find my cat. Could be B. Indoors? Ok. Sorry, estoy tratando de leer cosas porque quiero ver si hay cosas ocultas, pero parece que no. Ok, narrador, ya lo sé.
Stanley was once again
Wait, no me
stunned to
acuerdo.
discover not an indication of any human
¿Cómo era?
life. What could it mean? Stanley
Could he
wondered
be?
aloud
Oh.
to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. but his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
Ah, 2845.
But
Casi.
of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He
Es
stepped
diferente,
into
¿no?
the newly opened passageway.
Wait, no, es igual. Is it? I don't know. I'm scared. Ah. Ok, es igual. Ok, vamos a irnos a escapar. Vamos a escapar esta vez. Porque ya estuvo bueno. Ya estuvo bueno de esta pesadilla. ¿Stanley podrá ser feliz? Ay, debí darle arriba. Actually. Stanley. Yo te salvaré de las voces de tu cabeza. Oh my god.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, Stanley no hizo eso.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh my god. ¿Es en serio? Well, there's only one way to find out. There's only one way
The
to
door
find
behind him
out.
was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity
No,
to
no, no.
turn around and get back on track.
Estás mintiendo.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted
Está muy
effort to walk
determinado porque me
forward and
regrese.
willingly confront his death.
No le creo nada. O tal vez sí es cierto. Oh. Es literalmente un precipicio. Ah. Bueno, honestamente no sé. Oh. Oh my god, es como el final ese de Mortal Kombat que les conté.
As
Oh
the
my God,
machine
I'm
whirred
not
into
dead.
motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture.
¿Dónde
He doesn't
estoy?
know the real
Oh my
story,
god, I'm gonna die.
trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Oh no!
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
¡No, narrador, auxilio! ¿Y por qué el que graba no hace nada?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
¿El narrador me ayudó? Por eso lo despidieron y ahora es una chica. Yo y los fanfics de mi cabeza. The Stanley
And
Parable.
yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Oh my god, he is helping me. ¿Dónde estamos?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
No.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
No. Pinturas de naturaleza. ¡Oh! ¡Es la oficina! Diagrama de la oficina. Este plano muestra la oficina del comienzo del juego. El camino desde la oficina de Stanley hasta las dos puertas fue la primera parte del juego que se construyó. A lo largo del desarrollo se agregaron y se modificaron distintas secciones, pero el diagrama fundamental es casi idéntico a la primera versión. Oh. Oh my god, es un museo de Eru. Bueno, no de Eru, no, de Stanley. Computadora de Stanley. Toda una celebridad. Bip, bup, bip, bup. A ver, ¿qué más hay? ¿Qué más hay? ¿Qué más hay? Pasillo. El ritmo de la sección inicial era crucial para el juego. El pasillo se movió y se modificó para que los jugadores llegaran a 2 puertas en un buen tiempo. Las 2 puertas. Ok. Ah, ¿está el armario en el mapa? ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde? No está, ¿o sí? La oficina. Sonidos de botones. Selecciones los sonidos que se utilizan en el juego cuando se oprimen botones. ¿Esto era algo? No, creo que no. ¡Oh! ¡Oh! Ok, acá están los créditos. Computadoras de la oficina. No puedo leer nada. Ah. Ok, vámonos para acá. Aquí estaba el 4. Sí, pero yo no lo encontré. Sala de mantenimiento. ¿De verdad estamos muertos? ¿Fan? Yo no he visto eso. Yo quiero dinero. Uy, ¿me estoy spoileando cosas? From Anthony W. Subject. Oh. Asking the narrator, well, the thing I want to know is, what would you do if Stanley entered any other rooms? What's this? Oh, sí, sí, hay un proyector. What is Stanley's last name? Congratulations. El museo te muestra todos los finales. Oh, ok, no me quiero spoilear demasiado. ¿Cómo me voy de aquí? Oficina de Stanley. Narrador, de repente te extraño. Creo que fui muy dura contigo, lo siento. ¿Me perdonas? Oh, aquí está. Wait. Exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Como que sí, no. No.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Se quieren.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
¡Oh!
But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can
¡Volvimos
stop
a donde
the programming
estábamos!
if they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat
Skip
this
y
game.
luego salir.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking some.
Pero es una tontería. Eso es una tontería. Should I do it? Nah. Pensé que se refería a ir por la sala de... ¿Nah? Nah. Should I? Nah. ¿Y si me dan un logro? Oh my God. A estas alturas yo le creería. Pero ella no la conozco. Ella no es mi narrador. Es verdad que mi narrador y yo pasamos momentos tensos, momentos de conflicto. Pero pasamos momentos juntos. Yo no le creo a ella. La acabo de conocer. Con empezar de cero es que reinicia. Salir te vas al menú. El otro ya te mató 5 veces. Eso es cierto, pero son detalles mínimos. Son detalles mínimos que podemos dejar pasar. Ok, le voy a hacer caso, pues. ¿Salir?
Someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for it.
¡Ay, ya me asusté! ¡No quiero morir aplastada! paniqué. ¡Oh, my God! Pero no le di a reiniciar de cero. Así que si le doy a iniciar partida debería estar bien, ¿no? No inicio desde el inicio, ¿no? Ok. Es que me estaba presionando mucho. El narrador no me hablaba así. El narrador no me hablaba así. Ok. Vámonos. Narrador. Si me habla ella, voy a llorar.
This is the story of a... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Lo
mean?
extrañé.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Quédate en la oficina y cierra la puerta. Alright. Vamos a probar. Dios, no me había dado cuenta que caminé tanto. ¡Ay, ya no puedo! Ok, lo probaré en la siguiente. Veamos si hay armario. Ay, lo extrañé. Por la derecha.
When Stanley came to a set
Okay.
of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, porque luego me critica.
The lounge was sublime, a work
¿Por
of
abrir
art.
esto?
What was it about
No.
this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, its subtle charm. No.
Bueno, no hay nada que hacer
Stanley
aquí,
knew
así que
it was
saldré.
something deeper, something darker.
Alright.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No nos hemos ido por aquí, ¿verdad? Creo que no. No, ¿verdad? Creo que no.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's,
¿No sabes?
left.
Are you sure?
Oh, no.
Fuck
no,
you.
It's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Tómate tu tiempo, supongo. Oh, ¿está revisando el guión?
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
¿Dónde? Oh, acá. No me vas a cerrar la puerta, gracias. ¿Por qué están las luces encendidas? Ok, sigamos, supongo. Pion, 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 pion. ¿Sí?
No.
que no?
This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
¿Lo es?
Okay, we just
¿Que no?
get back
Ya,
to,
ya estuvimos aquí, ¿no?
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Oh my god. Está jugando con mi
All of his
mente.
co-workers were gone.
Extraño el closet.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
Sigamos
the
por
memo.
la derecha. Pero sigamos derecho.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Eh?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the
Oh.
game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
¿Están cerradas?
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No,
Did you
no.
move the story somewhere or...
Ah,
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here.
no
just a
hice
minute
nada.
ago.
Yo
I
no
know for
toqué
sure
nada.
that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
¡Oh! ¡Oh! ¡Todas están abiertas! my god, I wanna go. No puedo. Ay, no sé por dónde ir. Oh my god. Tantas decisiones. Tantas posibilidades. Oh my god. I don't know. Ok. Vamos por esta. De repente se siente como backrooms, ¿no? Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
Creo que estoy perdida.
Okay,
Creo
let's
que
give
no
it a
hay
shot.
nada.
Why not?
Esto es una pesadilla. Se
All of
siente.
his co-workers
Siente
were
como una
gone.
pesadilla.
What could it mean?
Ah,
Stanley
debí
decided to
quedarme.
go to the
Sorry,
meeting
I
room.
forgot.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Miau, miau, miau. Ok. Vamos. Oh my
Okay,
god.
Yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
¿Nos regresamos? Really? Ok.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something.
¿Qué es
The
esto?
story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Siento que están jugando conmigo. Siento que yo no estoy jugando el juego. Oh my god. ¿Por qué esto está tan horrible? Yo no estoy jugando el juego.
No,
El juego está jugando
Well, I'll be
conmigo.
honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
No
I
lo
don't
sé,
think
dime
so.
tú. ¿No lo
I can't
hiciste
quite
tú?
recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Gracias. Gracias.
No.
¿Cómo que no?
I
A mí
don't
sí me
feel right
gustó.
about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
¡Ey!
Some
¿Cómo
people
que
win
no?
fair
Llevo
and
una hora
square,
aquí
and this
caminando
was
en un
not one of
montón
those
de
situations.
lugares y me quitaste mi lugar seguro, el
I'm
closet.
getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Para que no nos perdamos. Ok, voy a quedarme aquí.
All right, I've got a solution.
¿No puedo cerrar la
This
puerta?
time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Thank you.
Just follow the line.
But what if
How
I
simple
stay
is that?
here? In the comfort of my office. No puedo cerrar la puerta. Si me quedo aquí, ¿me pasará algo? Aunque me quedaré aquí un ratito. Que me habían dicho, pero... No lo sé. No puedes cerrarla, tienes que seguir la línea. Toma cafecito. No, guácala. Quiero Milo. Ok, vamos a seguir la línea. Parece que no, narrador solo quiere que siga la línea. Línea amarilla. Nión. Nión. ¿Esto es nuevo? Nión. Antes esa puerta no estaba abierta.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought.
¿Qué?
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story
Hablas
of no
mucho, ¿te lo han dicho?
destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Tú te
I'd
pusiste
like to
raro.
apologize. Not sure where I was
No te
going with
perdono.
all
¿Qué onda
that.
con tu línea?
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Sí, eso estaría bien. No puedo, no soy Spider-Man, narrador.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
¿Qué es el hecho? ¿Qué es el hecho? ¿Esto?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely
¿Es,
and remember
es una
it carefully.
planta?
You won't want to miss
Sí.
anything.
Está bonita. Es verde. ¿Ya? Es una planta, efectivamente. Ok.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
Esta línea no tiene ningún
You do know
sentido.
we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The
¿Se
story?
dividió?
Is any of this ringing a bell?
¿Ah? Oh no. Oh no. It's over. Ok, ¿y si no seguimos la línea? Miau, miau, miau. Miau, miau, miau. Ok.
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line?
La línea
Perhaps we could have
TM.
found the story on our own.
La línea TM. Oh. Esta taza siempre estuvo así. Oh. Okay, then what do you want me to do? Siento que he hecho mucho ejercicio en este juego. Oh, los spoilers,
No,
otra
no,
vez.
no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Ya me estoy acostumbrando a que reinicie cuando se le dé la gana. ¿Y ahora qué, narrador? ¿No me vas a decir algo? ¿Quieres que siga la línea? Bueno, esta vez es diferente,
You
creo.
know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
¿Qué
We're
has tú
intelligent
hecho por
people,
mí?
right?
Ah, eso no
Why
tiene
can't we
sentido
make up our
gramaticalmente en
own
español,
story?
perdón.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this
has
all
hecho
sounds
todo por
perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh my god. Ok, otro camino.
Now,
Woohoo.
yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Sácame de aquí, quiero
Whatever
morir
it might be, Stanley,
en el juego.
I'm ready for it.
Kill me.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new
Pero me
story.
gusta el amarillo,
No
está
lines or
bonita.
monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Ella teme. Ok, ¿y ahora dónde estamos?
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
Pero están cerradas.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Oh, círculos, ok.
So I
Ñom,
know
ñom,
that
ñom.
each door has to
Así le
lead
hace Eru papá
somewhere,
cuando habla por
which means
teléfono.
that
Camina en
somewhere,
círculos.
the place
Ñom.
where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Ok.
Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley.
Bueno,
Our
ábreme la
destiny
puerta, por favor.
awaits.
Gracias. Oh. El final de la confusión.
Oh, hold up. What's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game
Después de
eight
mucho tiempo,
times?
Stanley muere. El narrador se
That's
va.
really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Sí,
So
narrador, tú
now,
tampoco
according to the
tienes
schedule, I restart again.
libre
Then what? Am
albedrío.
I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this?
Ahora ves lo que se siente, ¿ah? Que te digan una cosa y tú
I
quieres
don't want
hacer
it
lo
to be.
contrario.
I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going
¿Y si
on.
nos hacemos
I don't want to be
amigos?
trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped?
¿Seremos libres, narrador?
Did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
No lo sé. ¿Tienes miedo? Ni siquiera tienes cuerpo. Bueno, yo tampoco. No tengo pies.
Okay. I guess now we just
Entonces,
wait.
¿cómo me
You know,
muero si no tengo
I
cuerpo?
suppose in some way that this is
¿Por
a
qué tenía
kind of
miedo de ser
story, wouldn't you
aplastada?
agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Sabía demasiado, lo silenciaron. Narrador, ¿estás bien? Ya me preocupé. Mejor me quedo
Stanley
aquí.
simply couldn't handle the pressure.
Are you
What
okay,
if he
though?
had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his
Me
responsibility?
escondo.
He had never been trained for that. No.
¿Cómo sé si
This
este es mi
couldn't
mismo
go anywhere
narrador?
except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by?
¿Tanto?
He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually,
PC.
someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this
Oigan,
will
qué horror,
end.
la oficina
He
no
will
tiene
be spoken
ventana.
to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little
Ok,
bit
esperaré.
closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Ok, creo que no sirve de nada.
But Stanley simply couldn't.
Ok, creo que es
handle
lo
the
mismo.
pressure.
¡Ah!
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy.
Narrador, a veces me caes
I will
bien,
be
pero a veces me caes mal.
Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by?
Bueno,
He no
esperaré,
longer
ya,
had the
ya
ability
casi
to
me
tell.
muero, it's okay.
But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
Pero nunca
Eventually,
aparecieron, me
someday,
mentiste.
they would arrive. Soon,
¿Cómo
very
pudiste?
soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Ok. Ya está. ¿No muevas el mouse? Ok. ¿Qué pasa si no hago nada, narrador? ¿Me vas a extrañar? ¿Me mentiste? Ok. ¿Me extrañas ya? No hay Stanley. Stanley se murió. ¿Qué pasa si desconectas el PC? ¿Qué pasa si desconecto mi internet? ¿Qué pasa si apago el stream? ¿Qué pasa si borro mi canal de YouTube? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? No. No. Es bromita. Parece que no me extraña. El tiempo no avanza ahí, pero yo veo el reloj moviéndose. Pero parece que el narrador no se da cuenta. Así que voy a contar hasta 10 y me voy a salir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ok. Vámonos. ¿Narrador?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Ok. Ahí
What could
está.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
No, Stanley no
Perhaps he
decidió
simply
nada.
missed a memo.
¿Las ventanas cambian a veces? ¿Really? No lo he notado. Ok, aquí se avanza el tiempo. ¿Notaste que en la habitación del final confuso estaba el hecho importante? ¿En serio? No. Nada más me fijé en la pantalla gigante enfrente de mí. Rutas secretas. Bueno, parece que no le importa que me quede quieto. A ver, busquemos helechos importantes.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of
Oh,
his
come on.
co-workers.
Ok, ¿por dónde nos vamos? ¡Ay! Yo veo todo igual y no hay helechos importantes. ¿Esto es un helecho importante? No lo creo. ¿New content? Hell yeah!
New content? What does that mean, new content?
Ay, Dios mío. Ok, ¿qué me vas a dar ahora? ¿Ah?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
De nada.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Really?
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022
Un patito.
with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Ah.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the
Me
Stanley
gusta la
Parable
estética de esto,
Ultra
como
Deluxe.
pintado.
Well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
¿Es un DLC de verdad?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Ajá, ¿dónde está? ¿Dónde está mi aventura? No hay botones aquí.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or
Oh,
there
ya
we
se
go.
está moviendo,
All right,
okay.
finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
¿Lo vas a criticar?
Mostly tedious.
¡Dímelo a
It's as
mí!
if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Okay. The jump circle.
All right. Let's see. It's
Can I jump
the
here?
jump
Oh
circle.
shit! Let's go! Ay, tengo saltos limitados. Extrañaba saltar. Bueno, vamos a saltar todo. ¡Ya! 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 No puede ser. Esto es contenido de calidad, chicos. Nuestros últimos 5 saltos. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ya no puedo. Triste, triste. Triste. Gracias por el contenido de calidad. Lo agradezco mucho.
Is that it?
Yeah, I had
Surely that's
fun.
not all the new
I don't know
content.
about
There
you.
has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell,
Oh my
I could
God.
count to
Ya
30
está siendo muy
trillion.
grosero,
Look at that
cálmate.
on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I
Ma?
knew there had to be something else.
A ver, ahora
Let's see
qué.
it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
¿Qué dice allí? Gracias por disfrutar el nuevo
That's it?
contenido.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar.
Díselo, narrador,
The level
díselo.
of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on
¿Ignorar
this?
qué?
I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally.
¡Cancélalos, narrador!
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game? And
Ok.
we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is
A
really
mí me
about.
gustó saltar,
No frills,
pero está
no
bien.
gimmicks. Just you
Vámonos.
and me
Ay,
having
se
a
me
great
cayó
time
mi lápiz.
together like always. What do you say, friend?
¿Friends? Are we friends now? Somos amigos de verdad. ¡Ay! Es diferente. Espérense. Espérense, me acomodo un momento. ¿Somos amigos? No me ilusiones. A ver. Miau, miau, miau. Miau, miau. ¡Guauis! Así se veía donde yo trabajaba. Cerrada. Cerrada.
Stanley,
Are you
come
helping me?
over here. In the vent. I want to show you
Soy muy
something.
pequeñito de repente, ¿no? ¿No puedo agarrar? No. Ok, seguiré. Y me caigo y me muero. ¿Qué quieres de mí? ¿Me mató? Oh, estoy viva.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about
No
the
impongas
past
tus
and how
opiniones
much
en
better the
mí,
Stanley
narrador.
Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto? ¿Huh?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
¡Qué bonito! Florecitas, verdecito, cielito. Oh my god, ya necesitaba ver algo nuevo. The Memory Zone.
You see, Stanley,
Yo no
doesn't
puedo
the
ver
Memory
techos
Zone
triangulares
remind you
porque
of how
pienso en
wonderful
Midsommar.
Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the
No.
game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
¡Esto es falso! Ahí dice The Last of Us. Dice The Last of Us. Don't forget the Stanley Parable. Ok, veo que extrañas mucho 2013. Ay, sí. Ay, sí. 2013 fue divertido. 2013. Our first kiss, my first car. The release of the Stanley Parable in 2013. Ok. Vamos, sigamos, supongo. Good times. Creo que lo extraña mucho. ¿Qué es esto? Bits of music. ¿Tiene soundtrack esto? Smile because it happened. Ok. Y no puedo hacer nada por acá. It's impossible. Ay. diversión, no. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Ay, no, lloré de la risa. Me salió una lagrimita. Ay, no. ¿Hay premios? Ay, sí. Bueno, nominaciones, ¿no son premios? New video game releasing today. ¿Ese logro es real, de veras? Stanley Parable deals tough choices. ¿Ahí se acabó? ¿Esto es todo? Beta. Work in progress. Me gustó esta casita. Está mejor que la oficina. Oh, hay más. Oh. ¿Qué es esto? Me asusta un poquito. ¿Por qué hay agua? ¿Por qué se siente como un culto?
Is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
¿Reviews?
Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them.
Oh my God.
And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
¿Por qué estás tan triste? ¿Por qué estás triste? ¿Minecraft? Ok. ¿Este es Stanley? Damn. Person of the Year. Será Portal, ¿verdad? Una vez intenté jugar Portal hace mucho tiempo, creo que les contesto. Pero hace años, cuando quería empezar a jugar. Y me mareé horrible. Pero quiero jugarlo un día de estos. A ver, ¿qué es esto? Guachafitas. Bajemos, quiero ver. Hola, Eru hermosa, disculpa, no he podido pasarme últimamente por aquí. Espero que estés bien y contenta. Cuídate mucho, eres la mejor. No te preocupes, Raz, tú pasa cuando quieras. Stanley Parable es el Dark Souls de los Stanley Parable. Hola, Eru, hello. ¿Vomitaste? No vomité, pero sí me mareé demasiado. O sea, creo que nunca me he mareado tanto. Oh, es I don't think I should go in here. Okay, I can't. Oh. Ok, sigamos. No es que me mareé porque en esa época no, les digo, justo iba a empezar a jugar, así que no estaba acostumbrada a las cámaras de los videojuegos. De hecho, cualquier cosita que tuviese una cámara donde pudiera moverme así, ya era suficiente para marearme. Pero ya no es tanto así que podría probarlo. People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know that they can't do anything. Literally anything. La gente juega videojuegos por lo que pueden hacer dentro de ellos. Y tu juego es muy bueno en dejarles saber que no pueden hacer nada. Literalmente nada. Okay.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding
29.
choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone.
Creo que eso tenía una
to spend the
crisis
rest of time collecting
existencial muy
dust in
grande.
the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Se abrió una puerta. Ah, pero no puedo pasar. Ah. De repente extraño saltar. The Serious Room. Puedo ver un poco. No hay nada realmente, es como una mesa vacía. ¿Y ya? Ay, yo sí quiero la cuarta película de Madoka. ¿Al otro lado? ¿De este lado? No, también está bloqueado. Narrador. Tú tienes poderes. ¡Ah! ¿Esta puerta estaba abierta? No.
These were simpler
Sí.
times, Stanley.
Sí, estaba abierta. De
What
aquí
I
vine.
wouldn't give to go back, to have
Oh.
it all over again. Wait,
Extrañar tanto el pasado
on.
no es bueno,
I
narrador.
don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
A ver. Oh. No parece bueno. Steam. Reviews.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Malas
Surely
reviews,
these
tal vez.
reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Dios mío. Oh, pero acá hay una buena. A ver qué
Honestly,
dice.
I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights
¿Te crees,
that I can't
narrador?
even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
A veces es así, a veces es así, no pasa nada. Ok, ¿a dónde vamos ahora? ¿Se imaginan? Alguien que haya dejado de jugar el juego cuando... a los 30 minutos cuando sales a tocar pasto. Ah, no, de aquí venimos. ¿Puedo bajar? Ya. Aquí dice algo bueno, pero tampoco puedo leerlo. ¡Oh!
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
Yo creo que sí son reales, ¿no?
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on
It's
to.
okay,
These
narrador.
black
Seguro
marks
a
on my
gente le gusta
otherwise
también, mira.
unimpeachable
¿Por qué no
track
lees
record.
esa, ajá?
I feel like a failure.
No, ¿por qué no lees
Like I let
esa?
these people down.
Machucho.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh, come on. If it was important for you, then it was important. Ok, no sé qué puerta se abrió. ¿Esta? ¿Asumo? Ok. Reviews, más reviews. Interesante. Me parece interesante este camino que tomó el juego. No lo esperaba.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button?
Quieren esquipear.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Nah. Oh.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a
Debería.
shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it.
It's not that
It's what the
bad.
players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people.
Nos está
And if the
callando.
people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue. And it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once.
Okay.
So, now you see, blah,
Ahora
blah,
sí
blah,
estás
blah,
empezando
blah,
a ser
blah, blah,
molesto.
blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 245.
¿Lo presiono?
That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly...
¿Y si se enoja conmigo?
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but
Okay.
it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound
¿Será
such
que lo tengo que
ruminations.
presionar
Not
otra
that,
vez?
Of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof.
Pero es
and
que
it's all
me da
over. Oh, I
pesar.
can't wait to see what cookie nine will say on this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least
Quiero ver
change
qué
some of the
dice
wording
Cookie Nine al
perhaps. To be
respecto,
honest,
no,
I
güey.
don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works.
Nah, 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 nah. It's
Perhaps
okay.
that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming
le hará
longer
para
and
hablar
longer.
tanto?
That last one was, well, I want to say maybe
Oh.
30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable.
No, no, no,
by
no lo haré
any
más.
means.
Ya, no me da
There's really
pesar.
only so much I
Me da
can ramble
pesar, lo
on to myself
siento,
about.
no.
I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But
5
anyway,
minutos está
I
bien,
do
pero
suggest that
40
we
no.
not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
say
yeah.
goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
Oh,
Where did the
no.
door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Oh,
I don't
no.
feel
Me
quite
está obligando a
certain there was
presionarlo
one
otra
here
vez.
before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a
Me
door
siento
of some
mal,
sort,
lo voy a
or
dejar
window or something
solito.
like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is
¿Serán
for us
2
to move
horas
on.
ahora?
Please step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button.
Yeah, but
Wasn't
where?
here before, wasn't
No hay
there?
puerta,
Yes, there
narrador.
was.
Creo
Where did
que
it go?
tengo que hacerlo.
He
Sorry, lo
maybe
siento.
just-
Lo siento.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room.
No.
Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times.
Me siento
And there's
mal.
no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing
Ok,
the button
pero
again.
siendo
I
sinceros,
can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I
siendo
can't touch it,
sinceros,
and
es
I
lo
have
mismo
to
para el
believe it.
narrador,
I
porque
have to
Stanley ni
know that
siquiera
sooner or
habla.
later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I
Viste,
just
no le
couldn't
hagas
ignore
caso
the negative
al
feedback.
hate.
Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to
Sí,
me? I've
no
never even
importa
met
lo que
Cookie
digan,
Nine.
siempre van
I
a
have
tener
no
quejas, ¿y tú
idea who they
qué?
are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest
I'm
mention
sorry,
of one
narrator, I have to do
and I
it.
become as petulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter
you,
and to
Cookie
change
Nine.
and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now stuck in a room, waiting for you
Le
to
quiero
press this
hacer pot
button,
pot.
to become frozen
Todos
in
hemos
time,
estado ahí,
knowing
no
that
te
you're going to do
preocupes.
it, and that I'm going to be
Pero
stuck
aprendes con el
all
tiempo,
alone,
narrador, y
that
ok.
I had the power
Luego
to
llega un
prevent
punto en el
it
que
all
te
from
da
happening,
absolutamente
if
igual.
only
Y tú,
I'd held
ok.
my tongue. It's all out of my
Tengo que
control now.
hacerlo. No lo
Just
tomes a
you.
mal.
Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will.
¿Por qué me dice
I
eso?
doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay
Me está
here. Oh, no,
guilt-tripeando.
no, I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
¿Una
Not 2
semana?
weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
Oigan,
just
esto es una
sitting here
tortura para
with a
mí.
single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
Exacto, no digo
Don't you
nada.
think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't
Se murió
the same
esta
at all.
planta.
It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn
Eso,
my story to the
narrador.
ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can
Las
hear me.
oigo, pero tenemos que
Because maybe,
salir de
Stanley,
aquí.
Maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
Tiene que callarse en un
Was I
punto.
scared of
Come
that
on.
all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the
Qué
emptiness
groseros son con
folds
el
itself upward
narrador.
in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less
Wah.
real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work
Bueno,
of
quita el
fiction.
botón de
I feel
skip
as though I
entonces.
occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've
¿Qué?
ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I
Man,
can
es
sense
que vas a
the
sentir
looming
culpable.
silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it. To think of returning to such coldness. Come. Let
Pero
us
es
sit
que
in
imagínense
silence
dejarlo
together
solito.
here for
Ustedes
just
son
a
muy
moment.
malos.
Let us anticipate.
Ustedes son muy
Let us
malos.
welcome
Lo
it.
estoy
Let us
comprendiendo.
not run from
No
it.
les importan los sentimientos del narrador. Oh. Se cayó. Ya no dice nada. Se cayó. Ok. Creo que hay que hacerlo. Sorry. Al menos lo dejé terminar de hablar.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome.
Es la
I
planta.
have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year.
¡Un año!
Sat down in one
Más
place
de un
and
año.
not moved for one entire year. Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all.
¿Por qué no
but
reinicia el
regret
juego
for
el
the longest
narrador?
time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself.
Digo, no puedo. ¿Salir al menú? ¿Debería salir al menú?
With a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously.
Pero
I
esto
was
es muy
consumed by
malo, esto es muy malo. Ya ni siquiera está. Esto era lo que querían. Se sienten felices al respecto. Estoy triste. ¿Dónde está el narrador? ¿Cuánto tiempo pasó? ¿Cómo salgo de aquí? ¿Qué está sonando? Pensé que era el reloj, pero no.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned. They screamed.
sigues
They gnashed
quejándote?
their teeth and said, "Entertain us." It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review.
Come
amid
on,
all of
get
their
over
pitiful
it. It's been a
demands.
while.
But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with
Ay,
an
Dios.
uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are
¿Narrador? ¿Narrador? Ah, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué sonó? Sonó algo, ¿no? ¿Narrador?
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the
Oh, es lo
end,
que
is
salía al
never the
inicio.
end, is never the end, is never the
¿Narrador?
end, is never the 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 end,
The
is
end.
never the end.
I
is
feel
never
so
the end,
bad.
Is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
Me
is
siento
never
como un
the end,
monstruo,
is never
te
the
lo
end,
juro.
is never the end.
¿Narrador? ¿Narrador? ¡Narrador! ¿Narrador? ¿Narrador? Ya hay una salida. ¿Dónde estás? Dios, ha pasado como un milenio a este punto. What the fuck? Oh, shit. ¡Narrador! Estoy perdiendo la cabeza, no puede ser. ¿Qué es eso? Me estoy volviendo loca. ¿Son helechos? ¿Really? ¿Narrador? Oh my god, narrador. ¿Dónde estamos? ¿Qué son esos ruidos? Oh my god. ¿Qué está pasando? Sí, hay una salida, pero no hay a dónde ir. Y todo está solo. Oh, ¿y ahora qué se supone que hagamos? No hay absolutamente nada. Voy a rodear. Yeah. La musiquita de Dune. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never... ¡Ah! ¡Narrador! ¡Narrador, te extraño!
All of his co-workers were gone.
¡Narrador, te quiero
Stanley decided to
mucho!
go to
Oh,
the
miren,
meeting
está como
room.
desgastado
Perhaps he had
todo.
simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
El teléfono sigue lindo. Narrador, te extraño mucho, te quiero mucho. Oh, ¿puedo apagar? Antes no. Perdóname por esquipearte. Lo siento. Oh. Oh. Do I have to wait or... No creo que avance. Parece que no avanza. ¿Ah? ¿Ah? 5 veces a la puerta 430. ¿Y cuál es la puerta 430? ¿Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
¡Dámelo y
Now
ya!
suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
20
I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Ok. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the
Ah,
satisfaction
come
of
on!
witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do.
Me sentí mal por ti.
Certainly 50
¡No me hagas esto! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33,
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want
100?
to see commitment.
Ya,
A
pero
willingness to
100.
go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
¿Ah? Ah, 20. Dios, pensé que 417 veces. ¿Y cuál es esa puerta? 20 veces, ¿no? ¿Cuál es esa puerta? Ah.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times
¡Ah!
on door
No me va a dar
437.
nada este tonto. Wait, ¿qué puerta dijo? ¿Qué puerta, narrador? No te presta atención. 437. ¿Siquiera hay puerta 437? No hay puerta 400. Ah, sí hay.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Si no me da un logro. Voy a quitar el mod. Corderito.
Now, back to door number 437.
Oh my god. Aquí está. Están en
Let's
desorden.
see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy
¿Y
machine?
dónde está la fotocopiadora? Ni siquiera me acuerdo. ¿Ah? ¿Atrás? A ver. ¿Fotocopiadora? ¿En mi oficina? No.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Pero ni siquiera puedo saltar. El escritorio 419. Am I... is it working? It's not working.
Yes!
Aquí está.
This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Ah, ¿por qué no le das clics tú? ¿Ah? Sí, Dios mío, me está jugando conmigo otra vez. De repente lo quiero skipear. No puedo creerlo, no puedo creerlo. Me sentí legítimamente mal por él. ¿Dónde está la 416? ¿Cuál es la 417? ¿No dijo 416? Where?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
¡Hizo todo eso para nada! Reinicia. Oh. No puede ser. Ya casi acababas. No lo voy a hacer otra vez. No lo voy a hacer otra vez.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number...
Wait, ¿le di a reiniciar? ¿Le di a reiniciar?
All
No.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait, ¿qué? ¿Sí? No. Según yo, no. ¿Sí? Bueno, rip. Rip. Rip todo. Rip todo. Rip todo. No se puede borrar nada. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Wait, ¿qué puerta era?
Oh, please. Are you really
Fue.
just doing this for the
No voy a
achievement?
hacer eso
Click the
otra
door
vez.
5 times.
No voy
Is
a
that
hacer eso
all
otra
that
vez.
you
O bueno,
think an
puedo
achievement is
intentarlo
worth?
hacer
No,
rápido.
No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A
Solo
measly
saliste al menú.
5
Ok, ok.
clicks.
Ok,
Now,
ok,
suppose
ok,
you
ok.
were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Mucho clic, mucho clic, mucho clic.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of
Pero yo no
witnessing
encontré
true
ninguna
effort
puerta
for others before.
416. ¿Dónde se
Perhaps
supone que
50
está?
clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly. 50 clicks.
¿Dónde está la puerta 416? Ah, it's so hot. Espérense, voy a encender. Ah, no sé dónde está el control.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this
Abierta.
achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true
¿Será
reward for
esta?
valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20
416.
clicks into door number 417? Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Speedruneando. Aquí.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. Wait, no, tengo miedo. ¿Dónde? Ok, aquí está. ¡No hay
Now, back to door number
416!
437.
Esto no es 416. 417. Ah. ¿Qué puerta dijo? ¿Qué puerta dijo ahorita? 437 dijo. La que está abierta, no tienen.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb
Okay,
on employee
ya, esta vez lo hicimos más
419's
rápido.
desk. Yes,
Okay.
this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
¿Cuál es esa? ¿Está acá?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something
No,
very
you don't.
exciting to show you. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Tuve miedo, tuve miedo, tuve miedo. Oh my god. Pensé que lo había arruinado otra vez. ¿Dónde está la fotocopiadora?
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door
¿Por qué estás tan
430.
emocionado?
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago,
Thank
you
you.
believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Bueno, conseguir un logro de 5 clics que era una mentira. Pues tu cargo de moderador está colgando de un hilo, cordero. Bueno, ¿y ahora qué hacemos? Ok, no lo perdimos. Aquí está lo de new content. Así que...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
¿Es el día del mod? Eso es mentira.
Standing now in
No
his
es el día del
incredible
mod.
room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first
¿Nuevo
open door
contenido?
on his left.
Ah, ok, voy a matarme. Ya va. Facilito. ¿Sí es?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ok. Adiós.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in
Vamos a
control
new
of the story
content.
and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
Se lo merecía
Everyone
por
thinks you are
esquipear
very
tanto al
powerful.
narrador. ¿En serio es? Bueno. Gracias, mods, por su apoyo.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone
you,
would
thank
be.
you.
Stanley just needed to
Siento
get
que
to the
los
meeting
exploto
room,
un poquito.
and from then
Gracias.
on, he would never be alone ever again.
Ok, new content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
¿Algo nuevo? ¿O me va a poner a saltar otra vez? No, no es lo mismo. No es lo mismo.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable.
Cada
and about
cosa
how
tiene
roundly
día. ¿Cómo
disappointing
así?
this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
A bird.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time
Oh.
ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh. The Stanley Parable too?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a
The end is
fully-fledged
never the
sequel.
end.
An entirely new experience, built from the ground up.
Wow.
Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Is it though? Is it? Inventor Showcase.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it
eso?
even mean? But the Stanley
dos,
Parable 2,
en varios
now
idiomas.
that's an artistic statement.
Prueba
right
la
there.
secuela.
It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Claro, narrador. Oh. ¿Puedo pasar? No. ¿Narrador? Oh, ¿se abre una puerta? Escucho cosas, pero no sé si ya las estoy... Ah, esta puerta, ok. ¿Narrador? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Narrador? New hotness. They're back. 2 doors. New mug. Ah, ese me rascó un ojito. Ya está. Wow. Los posibles logos. Incredible. Wait. ¿No son como logos de otros juegos? Cierto, bro.
Now, to be clear,
Aquí está.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the
Oh my
features
God.
I've been developing for it. I figure that if I
Me
can loosely
gustó
organize
ese
a handful of
muñequito.
interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out.
Bye-bye,
Game
Leon.
development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2. Aladdin 2 no está como medio más o menos. Ujú. This way to the show floor. New features. New content. Wow, todo muy pro. Eru 2. No puede ser. Polémico.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
A ver, ¿cuáles son los new features? Oh. Me da miedo. What is that? El botón que dice el nombre del jugador. ¿Qué va a decir? ¿Mauchi? O Stanley.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually
Bueno, pero sí.
recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I'm scared. ¿Es safe? Voy a quitar el audio del juego, just in case. No escuchan nada, creo. ¡Dijo Jim!
Button only says the name Jim.
Oh no, ahora
Of course,
todos lo
inside the game,
saben.
This
Mi
button will
verdadero
say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Hola,
Okay,
Jim.
here we go. Let's
Hola.
take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
What? I'm not
I want
Jim!
you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Wow.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Not really.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes,
¿Qué le
you
pasa?
see? What a
Jim
thrill,
mío,
what a
sí.
rush. It was you. The button
Eru Jim
described
Oshi
you.
Nabura.
Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second
You
time.
okay?
If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal
Bye-bye,
validation.
Sprinter.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Oh,
I'm
sí.
putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Damn. Vale, parece que ahora nos llamamos Jim. Ok, ¿qué más quiere de mí? ¿Qué más tiene este juego? Cuéntamelo, narrador. Me incomoda no saber que no tenga nombre el narrador. No me gusta decirle narrador. Pero pues eso es, ¿no? Jim Parable.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
¿A dónde voy ahora? Esto es nuevo, ¿no? Oh, epílogo.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Agujero infinito. Logro gratis. Yo quiero un logro. Yo quiero un logro. ¡Jale la palanca! No confío en él, pero
Now,
bueno.
here's something special.
Ahí dice
You remember
gratis,
that
sí.
broken test achievement that got left in the game
¿Dónde
on
está la
accident?
palanca?
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Me ilusionó y me rompió el corazón. Ué. Bueno, lo estaré esperando en
What
Stanley
else?
Parable
What
2.
other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
¿Qué más? ¿Al hoyo infinito? Ok. No screenshots? Wait.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Huh? Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Ok. ¿Estás feliz? Merch.
Maybe I should have gone with... No.
Pues ya me
I've made my
estás,
decision. We're
ya me
moving
estás
on.
haciendo enojar un poquito. A ver, ¿a dónde nos vamos? Hay mucho aquí. ¿Un balde? Gym merch.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical. that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration,
Yo no veo ningún
I've
balde.
engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You
Oh,
see,
ahí va.
Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal.
¿Y por qué
and
un
perhaps
balde?
even comforting.
¿Qué hay de
You may even come to
tranquilizador en un
long for the
balde?
gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your
¿Por qué no un
arms.
peluche?
And to
Un
be honest,
puñonín.
it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable.
Es
Can
verdad,
you
aparte
imagine
ni
what
siquiera
pain in the
puedo
ass that
agarrar
would be?
cosas.
Yes, the bucket is the perfect
Oh, I hate you
solution.
so much.
Come on, give it a
No, 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 I can't.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh, really?
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more.
Ok, me lo
await you
llevaré.
in the Stanley Parable 2.
Me lo robo, gracias. Gracias.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it
¿Dónde
isn't
está el
already.
hoyo infinito? Lo perdí. El hoyo infinito. ¿Qué es eso? Yo quiero saber. ¿Por acá? No. ¿Hoyo infinito? Pium, pium, pium. Pero ¿y si
Stanley,
pierdo
here's
mi
an idea that
balde?
I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever.
Creo que
Infinite.
lo volví loco
You can
al
fall
esquipear
until the
tanto.
end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Pero tengo mi balde, voy a estar bien.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
Voy a estar bien,
Now,
nada malo
since you've
pasará.
gotten to see
El
the
balde me
infinite
reconfortará.
hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Oh, puedo regresar. Qué amable,
Great.
gracias.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Ok, ok. ¿Y ahora qué nos falta? Infinite Holes Tatsu, ¿te imaginas? Just chatting mientras caigo por un agujero infinito. Bye bye, Min. Me encanta cómo suena el balde. ¡Ah! ¡Miren! Ah. No hay
You know what?
saltos.
Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2.
No
as
hay
well.
saltos.
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Triste, triste.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Ah. ¡Ah, mi teléfono! Señora Ada, no. ¿Qué me falta? Coleccionables. No lo he visto, supongo. Acá arriba. ¡Oh! Es el sol.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will
my
be
God.
no reward for collecting all of them.
¿Qué es
I
esto?
don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply
¿Es
collect
Stanley?
all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable
¿Por qué está
life.
tan ominoso esto? Gracias. ¡Oh! Hay 6. Thank you, I guess. Ok. ¿Y ahora qué?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Porque a todos nos gustan las recompensas. A ver. Decoraciones de la oficina. ¿Esto lo he visto? Sí, creo que sí. Sí, ya está todo. Los globitos. ¿No hay salida de ahí? No lo sé. ¿Por dónde salgo? A ver, ¿ven algo diferente? ¿Y cómo suelto el balde? Salto de nuevo al hoyo. Ok. No sé cómo soltar el balde. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Bueno, ya que... Se me quedó pegado para siempre. Bye bye, vaso. Ok. Vamos a tirarnos por aquí y a esperar a que llegue nuestro final. Wait. ¿Esto es nuevo? ¿Dónde estoy? Ah, no, sí es el Infinite Hole. Right. No lo sueltes, es nuestra única compañía.
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now.
Sí, porque ya
Do
me
you
quiero
really need
ir.
to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever.
¿Cuánto
There really
diálogo
are
tiene
so many
ese
other
señor? Me
fascinating
pregunto.
exhibits that I prepared for
Estoy
you.
impresionada.
I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. This is rather
¡No es
embarrassing, Stanley.
infinito!
I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know. I told you the hole was infinite, but come on.
¿Cigarrillos?
Who actually wants to fall forever?
I
The
don't
hole
know.
was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem.
¿Te gusta señalar culpables todo el tiempo,
Things
señor
got a little
narrador?
heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we
Solo
just
tú
put all
dijiste
this
cosas
behind us
feas.
and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Ok, ¿lo presiono? Supongo que sí. ¿Saben dónde está la salida de ese lugar? Ok, vámonos. Pichum. ¿Dónde está la salida? Por la sala del coleccionador. Ok, gracias. Una puerta dice salida. Ok. ¿Y dónde está mi BGM? Me gustaba el BGM. Oh, ahí está. Exit. Es que hay tantos letreros aquí que es difícil de ver algo, ¿saben? Hay muchas letras, muchas cosas. Ok, por acá. Chup, 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 chup. Vámonos.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Sí, gracias.
Ready to move on now?
Sí. ¿Y puedes tener tu balde, por favor? Ya no lo quiero. No screenshots. Wait, ¿puedo seguir? No. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es
So,
esto?
Stanley, what do you think?
No me
Do you
gustó.
like all of the new
Me
features?
gustó más
Yes,
el
I know it's not
DLC
exactly
del
clear
círculo
yet
de
how
saltar.
exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Creo que estás malito, narrador.
Okay. Are you ready?
No.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2, Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
¡No!
Hold on.
¡Se ve
Let me do a different
horrendo!
arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
De alguna manera está peor.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
¿Que eso no es Stanley
With
Parable
respect,
Deluxe?
with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
Bye-bye,
I
Cody.
suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
¡Guau! ¡Ah! Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for
Oh,
a
Dios,
company
los
in a big
globitos.
building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job
¿Cómo
was
que
simple.
pasaste el
He sat at
tutorial?
his desk
No
in
way.
room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his
Está
desk,
igual,
telling him
narrador.
what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Está exactamente igual.
All of his co-workers
What
were
are you
gone.
talking
What could it
about?
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Esperen. Ok. Yo creo que vamos a terminar esta parte y dejaremos hasta aquí. Quiero ver qué hay de diferente.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him,
El
begging
balde.
him to pick it up.
¿Y dónde está el
Why was he
balde?
not doing it?
¿Dónde está el balde? ¿Ya lo
When
pasé?
Stanley came
Oh,
to a
shit.
set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Rip. No lo vi. Bueno, tal vez me pueda encontrar con el círculo de saltar. Extraño saltar.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
Sigue
up to
cerrado.
his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
¿Y dónde está mi círculo de saltar, señor narrador? Es todo lo que quiero.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could
Ah,
he
¿cómo
really be
era?
all alone? This was too much for
No,
Stanley to take,
28:45,
too
lo
much
escribí
for
mal.
any man to take. He fell
Ah, era
to his
45:28.
knees, bursting into half moans,
Pero eso
half
puse.
sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly
acuerdo de
3 hours. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found it. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just
Shut
let
up.
the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Ok, ¿y por qué no se abre la puerta, ajá? ¿Por qué no se abre la puerta?
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley
Todo
calmly
estaría
walked
mejor si
forward
tuviera el balde,
into the
¿cierto?
opened passageway.
Ok, vamos a ver. ¡Ay! ¡Los coleccionables!
One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
No hay
You can't
recompensa,
buy that sort of happiness,
solo
Stanley.
el
God knows I
sentimiento.
tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful
¿Y
figurines.
por qué no pusiste el skip button en el Stanley Parable 2 narrador? ¿Ah? ¿Por qué no lo pusiste? ¿Ah? ¿No querías hacer feliz a Cookie Nine? ¿Ah? Oh,
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
¿y dónde está el círculo de saltar?
Although this passageway had the word
No.
escape written
Oh.
on it, the truth was that at the end
Tal
of this
vez aquí
hall,
está el
Stanley
hueco
would meet his
infinito.
violent death.
Si no me devuelvo.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
¿No?
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort
Okay,
to
I'm
walk
going
forward
back, I'm going
and
back.
willingly confront his death.
Deja de regañar. I'm just a girl. I'm just Jim. Solo somos Jims. Damn, ¿realmente caminé tanto?
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Ok. Estoy haciendo todo igual.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength
Botón de la
to
luz dos
find out?
veces. ¿No pasa nada? ¡Uy! No pasa nada. A ver, este dos veces.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley,
Sí, no
one of
puedo
them,
presionar los botones
eternally
dos veces.
monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
¿Número rojo? Pues hay unos que están fired.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Bye bye, Fran,
Was this the only
descansa.
reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No.
Todo
He
está
refused to believe it. He
igual.
couldn't accept it. His
Me
own
engañó
life
el
in
narrador.
someone else's
It's
control.
over.
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Honestamente.
But here was the proof.
Tal vez yo soy
The heart
Cookie
of the
Nine.
operation.
Tan, tan,
Controls
tan!
labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded
Mentiras,
from this
¿no?
very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
¿Será que ya podemos dar
Stanley
los 5
decided that
números?
this
I don't think
machinery
so.
would
Vamos a
never
ver.
again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls
Todo lo que
once
yo esperaba
and
era el
for
círculo de
all.
saltar y no me lo dieron. No, no se puede. Me mintieron, me mintieron. Voy a dejar una mala review. Voy a decir, el narrador habla mucho. Mentiras, no es cierto. Yo no dejo malas reviews.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place.
Pensé en darle on, pero creo que ya lo vamos a dejar aquí. Así que, ya.
Blackness and a rising
Ni a la
chill
pizza
of
sin queso,
uncertainty.
ni a la pizza sin queso.
Was it over?
No, a la pizza sin queso, sí, pero cuando digo que yo no dejo mal...
He had won. He had
Cuando digo que
defeated
yo
the
no dejo
machine,
mal review, me
unshackled
refiero a que yo
himself
no
from
dejo mal
someone else's
comentario.
command.
Pero cuando
Freedom
toca
was
dar
mere
mala
moments
puntuación,
away.
uno da mala
And yet,
puntuación.
Even as the
Yeah.
immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected
Sí, de
on
hecho
how
debo
many
seguir
puzzles
chambeando.
still lay unsolved.
Ué.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even
¿Me caí?
power that he had been seeking,
Oh,
but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been
¿dónde
to
estoy?
understand,
ok.
but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or
Entonces, ¿este es el final oficial?
whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool
Listo.
breeze upon
Adiós,
his skin,
Jim. Que te vaya
the
bien,
feeling of
nunca vuelvas.
liberation,
No regreses.
the immense possibility of the new path before him.
Y si te encuentras un
This was
botón de
exactly
skip,
the way, right
presiónalo
now,
múltiples
that things
veces.
were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
No cometas el error de ser un empata. Un empath. ¡Ah! ¡Adiós! Un grande Jim. No, y no se van. No, no se... ¿La secuela está en pausa? Oh, come on. Come on. ¿Qué secuela ni qué nada? ¿Habrá tercero? Sí, yo sé que es empático, pero me da risa decir empata. Guau. Ok, chicos, pues muchas gracias por venir al stream. Espero que la hayan pasado bien. Estoy cansadita. Voy a seguir, voy a descansar un rato, voy a cenar y voy a seguir trabajando. Nos vemos entonces en unos días. Cuídense mucho. ¡Mua! ¡Hasta nunca! ¡Guau! Un empata. Ah, ya se va a descargar mi teléfono justo a tiempo. Gracias, gracias. Cuídense mucho ustedes también y muchos ánimos. La semana que viene ya habrá horario, así que ya sabrán cuándo son los streams. Los amo un montón y me hacen falta. Pero gracias por ser tan comprensivos.